Hey, welcome back, all. Mr. Fixin' coming at you. I got you way up high in the sky here. I got my Harbor Freight stole that I work with to do baseboards and stuff. Look, Mr. Fix-It here today. I got a situation that I ran into that I wanted to share with you. Knowing your texture in this business is everything, because you don't have to, do a whole room over. You want to just do the bad spots where, you have a hole, you fix the hole, and then you got to match the texture. Well, in previous videos, I showed you how with a sponge, you can take your patch and you can rub it out on the ends to get that little edge off, because when you spray it with your new texture, you're going to see that edge and everybody's going to know where you patched it. So you want to try and eliminate that and have your patch, just blend right in so you can't even tell that you messed with it. So what happened in this whole house, we got knocked down. Okay, so you spray your heavy orange peel, and then you let it, sit for an hour or two, depending on your humidity and all, and how well the spackle's going to set up. Usually I have a spot where you can't see too good that I do as a test spot, where you're going to let it, dry halfway, and then you're going to pull your trowel over top of it and knock it down. Or you have orange peel. In this situation, we have knockdown throughout the whole house, and in the laundry room we have this other texture that I've never seen before. So it happened to me one time in Florida. We're doing the ceiling, and there's this texture that it's like, oh my God, what is that? So what we ended up finding out, it was called the Amish mop. So the Amish people had built these houses, and they put their own twist on stuff. So this was actually a mop that you used, and you would fling the mop against the ceiling, and it would come up with a certain design. I mean, that was tricky as hell to learn that one. Okay, so I don't even think, I think I ended up doing that whole ceiling because it really didn't match that well. But you're going to come across these situations, and it saves you a lot of money not having to do the whole room. If you can just do that one spot and make it match, then it's going to take a lot less time, and it's going to be a lot less money, because you don't have to go through and paint the whole room. You can just, if you have a color match, you can just paint that spot that you fixed. So on this situation, I'm like, how am I going to match this texture that's in this room? So over here I did some knockdown. You probably can't see it from up there, but the knockdown is when you take your small 6-inch trowel, and you get some spackle, and you put a bump on your trowel, and then you smear it onto the wall. Okay, and that's what you do all over they usually do it on ceilings, but I tried to knock down, I smeared it, and it just doesn't match. I mean, you could tell, every spot where I repaired it. So I'm watching the shorts on YouTube, not that I'm, this isn't a commercial, so don't misunderstand that. This is, I usually scroll through the shorts and YouTube once in a while to get new ideas and stuff. So I just actually ran across the video where this guy was doing this texture. It was like, holy mackerel. I can't believe I ran into this video. But what he was doing, he had two trowels like this. I don't have two trowels like this, so I took one of my floor trowels that we spread the adhesive with, and I use that. But you put your pile of spackle on a piece of wood, an old piece of wood you're not going to use or you don't care about, and you take your one trowel and you dip it in the pile, and then you take your other trowel and you just tap it on there, and you're going to just tap it onto the wall. Okay, just tap it onto your wall. Like so. just so you have these blobs inadvertently on the wall. Okay, and then you're going to take the edge of your trowel. You're not going to smear it. You're going to take the edge. Okay, and very lightly, you're just going to go over your bumps. Okay, so those bumps, they look just like what's on the other part of the wall. So if I hadn't seen this video, I probably would have ended up skip troweling this whole room because I couldn't, figure out the match. And then I would have had to, seal it with primer. PVA, always put your PVA on when you're using mud, because that's, like the primer for it. And that will make it, make the paint blend better when you put your final coat on. Because you're going to have this primer on, and that's going to soak into, into your fresh spackle. And then when you put your final coat on, it's going to be more uniform because you don't have different areas of dryness soaking in the paint. Because lots of times we don't put the PVA on, and you can tell where you did the patches, believe it or not. So it's important to use that PVA and, paint that first onto your fresh spackle, then do your final coat, your color coat. So, like I said, with this texture, you're using 2 trowels, you're dipping the one, and then you're just tapping your other one in there, and you're putting the spots on the wall. Okay, and then you're taking just the edge of the trowel, and you're just going to smear it over. Okay, and that'll give you the texture that, I have here. This texture isn't that common, so I don't know how many people would use this, video. But I figured I'd just do the video because it's the first time I ran into it, and somebody else may be able to use it. The reason I do the videos is to, help people out, because I do the same thing. If I run into a situation that, I'm not familiar with, I'll search through the videos. And more than likely, there is a video on YouTube that you're going to be able to use. So this was texturing with a different type texture. The importance of knowing your texture so you can only patch those areas. And also, I wanted to share another little tidbit with you. To mix the mud, we usually get the boxes of mud. Okay, they're cheaper. And you don't have all these pail buildup. We got enough pails from paint. So you put it in a pail. Okay, I got the pail here. You dump the spackle from the box into a pail, and then you're going to have to mix it because it's usually really thick. So the best mixing tools I found for this are this spinner and this DeWalt Flex. This Flex is unbelievable, okay? I know all of you are going back and forth, DeWalt, Milwaukee, what's the best, Rigid. With every job, there is a tool that matches that. So what we want to do is we got this Flex. This Flex tool is great because when it's overpowering the drill, you feel this extra strength come from the battery, and it's actually drawing that extra energy from the battery. So check it out, guys. Mr. Fix-It coming at you. Get your texture straight. Like and subscribe. I'm out.